and thank you so much for being here with us today. This is KIKI Fitness, also known as Kiana. So how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good, Long day, but it's okay. We're here now.
I feel that.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about yourself. Who's KIKI Fitness?
Okay, well, my name is Kiana. KIKI Fitness is my personal training business / social media brand that I started in 2017, completely like out of hobby. And yeah, I've been doing it ever since then. I have clients that I train on the side, and then I also run like a social media account on Instagram where I post like workouts, recipes, fashion pictures. Honestly, now it's like a little bit of everything, but yeah, it's definitely come a long way, and it's like my little baby, honestly.
Yeah. So I've actually been following Kiana, I think, since about 2018. This is my first time meeting her in person, so I'm very happy. I'm just as happy as you guys.
Oh.
But yeah, she's such an amazing person. She's helped me out with so many different things. If you're really looking for an influencer, this is who I consider an influencer. Honestly, such an amazing person, such amazing content. I have taken her videos and just had amazing workouts with them. Fashion sense, wonderful. So perfect for RCFG. Okay, I'm going to look at the questions, so just give me 1 second.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay. That's okay. We'll cut it in between.
Okay. So, Kiana, you also used to go to Rotman Commerce. Right now, you're in Rotman MBA.
Yeah.
Very nice. Okay.
Love that.
So, how has your experience at Rotman Commerce kind of aided or affected your brand as KIKI Fitness?
It's interesting. I feel like it indirectly helped with my business, not like directly. Obviously, I did learn, a few things through certain classes, but I feel like just being in the program, obviously like it's a program that has very like high expectations and like a lot of workload. So I feel like it helped me like develop a tougher skin, if that makes sense, and really forced me to like be more organized and manage my time. So in that way, I feel like it helped me with incorporating my business into like my schedule. And then also like the fact that I was like living downtown at the time, I feel like allowed me to network with a lot of people and gain clients in that area. So yeah, I feel like as a whole, the program allowed me to be like more organized and professional, but the rest of it was more like indirect help, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I
yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of workload, we're all victim to this crazy workload. How do you manage, especially now because you're MBA, how did you manage before when you were in commerce and now with the workload? So because it's school, it's KIKI Fitness, work, life, sometimes it does get a little bit overwhelming.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like so many people ask me this question, and like when I answered, I'm just like, I don't even know how I did it, because like it was a lot. Like at one point when I was going to school, I had a few clients who were like my downtown clients who I would train in my condo gym. And then I would like go home on the weekend, and I had Richmond Hill clients and I would train them on the weekend. So like it was a lot. Like now that I look back at it, I'm like, I don't know how I did that, but like my calendar is my best friend. So I just try to schedule it in around school. Like school was always my priority, so I wouldn't let like the clients take over that. So I would do a lot of like weekend mornings for the Richmond Hill clients, and then for my downtown clients, it would be like just around my school schedule. So if I had to do it like on an evening or like a Friday morning, if I didn't have class, I would do that. So yeah, just like trying to take my school schedule and accommodate, but always putting school first, of course.
Yeah. I think one time I might have messaged you and be like, oh, how are you doing this? I'm drowning in school
right now. Oh my God, no, every time someone sees me, like they ask me that question, and I'm just like, honestly, I don't know. But like I in general, I'm a person who like does a lot. Like I'm just like that. Like I always am doing something. So for some people it might seem overwhelming. For me, it's like normal. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's just like my lifestyle. So yeah.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what's the biggest challenge that you faced with this brand, and how did you tackle it?
That's a really interesting question. I would say when I first started my business, like my pricing was not right. And like I understand that now, like looking back at it, but like I was like charging a very low rate, and my justification for that was just like, you know, I'm new, I'm just starting out, like I don't like deserve to charge people more. And like I feel like that really put me in a bad spot, because like when you have a starting point, it's really hard to like increase your rates by a significant amount, because like if your clients are paying like X amount of money, like you can't just make them pay like $30 more. So I think that was my biggest like problem at first. I didn't really like budget it out for myself. I just kind of like went into it. And like just to give more context, like the way I really found out it was charging way too low is like I used to teach in my condo gym, like I mentioned, and so I wasn't paying for the space. And all my clients were coming to me, so I wasn't paying like for transportation either. And then like 2 years in, my condo gym flooded. And so I had to like scramble to find like a space in Toronto, because like my clients literally like had class. So I ended up finding this space that doesn't exist anymore because I went bankrupt. But it was great. It was called Last Rep. I don't know if you remember me posting about it.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Beautiful space, yeah, so nice. But I had to pay per hour, right, to bring clients there. And it's probably like the cheapest thing you would have found at the time. Now it's like so much more expensive. But then I realized like I'm barely making any profit, because like I was paying, you know, like $18 an hour to use the space, and I wasn't really getting much more from my clients, and I couldn't raise the price by that much. And then I was also like asking around and seeing what other people are charging, and it was like $100 an hour, and it was like insane. So sorry, that was such a long story, but anyways, my pricing was like so off. So like going into it, like any new venture, I guess, like I think it's really important to like really budget out everything, consider all your costs, and also like your time, because your time is so valuable, and make sure it like aligns with your pricing.
Yeah, no, I remember actually I was, when you were posting about that, I was like, how is this place allowing trainers to bring clients? Because most gyms don't. Like I think LA Fitness, they'll like take away your membership.
Yeah, you'll get in trouble.
Yeah. And then what else? Yeah, I remember I asked for your prices one time too.
Yeah.
And I think it was, it was.
I started at like $30.
Yeah. I was
like it was insane.
I think it was like a third of LA Fitness's price, and I'm like, how is it so cheap? She's like, so much better than that LA Fitness trainers. It doesn't make sense, but yeah, it's one of those things where like
it's a learning experience. Yeah, for sure. And like, obviously I tried to raise it like slowly over time, but like I said, like you can only go to a certain extent, because then it just doesn't make sense for you to jump from a certain number to another number. So yeah, just, you know, your time is money. That's like my biggest my biggest tip, honestly.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so Kiana is also an ambassador with 437 Swimwear, which is absolutely amazing. Congratulations about that. She was just the model for their new Persia line. Again, amazing. So you look so great.
Thank you.
So in RCFG, we're really trying to help our students get more connected with the fashion industry. So my first question is, how did you kind of get into that? And my second question is, how do you have any tips for students who want to get into the fashion industry?
There's like different ways you can go about it. I think like if you have a connection at a certain fashion place, that's amazing. So one of my friends is close friends with one of the co-founders. So I approached her first and I said like, you know, what should I do? And she was like, honestly, you should just message her, like Hyla, who's one of the co-founders. She's like, you should just message her. And I was like, oh my God, like it might be intimidating, but honestly, like if you know who one of like the founders or co-founders is, like the worst that can happen is they don't read your message, you know? So that's what I did. I messaged her and I was like, you know, I've been following the brand for a long time. I know like this friend that we both knew. And then, so it's good to put in like a contact in there. And I was like, how can I like become a partner? How can I work with you guys? And like her response was a little generic. It was just like a link to apply to be a 437 partner, but at least she like knew who I was, knew my name, and it ended up working out. So I think my advice would be like, do a lot of research, because a lot of like fashion brands do have like links on their website where you can apply to become like a partner of some sort. And I've realized that a lot of the time it doesn't even matter how many followers you have. Like you can have a lower amount of followers, and nowadays like companies love like micro influencers and they don't care for like 100K followers. So yeah, like do your research, see if you can find like emails. Emails are great. If you can find like a partnership email or an email of someone who is like working for partnerships for the company, email them directly, tell them what you love about the company, make sure it's not like super generic, like actually give some sort of detail that's like, they know that you've, I guess, either tried their clothes out or you've seen what they do. And and reach out to them, and like, don't be scared. Like, literally the worst thing that can happen is they won't reply to you. But I think it's always great to just send out as many as you can. And if you really like the brand, like if you post a lot on social media, like post in the stuff you've already bought, tag them. Like, they do see it a lot of times. Like once, like, I don't know if you know the brand Bowen Tea. It's like the sub brand under Opoly. Like, they have like workout clothes. Like, they literally messaged me because I was like tagging their clothes, and then they started sending me free stuff. So if you show like actual love for the brand and not the fact that you just want to be a partner, like, they'll probably reach out to you as well.
Yeah, I remember you did those Nike posts, and then they would like comment on it.
Yeah.
Like,
those were like kind of generic, but you know what? I still push for Nike. Like, I always put it out there. I'm like, it's gonna happen one day. Who knows when?
It will happen.
Yeah,
I believe it. It will happen. So is there anything else you want us to kind of shine on for biggest challenges?
There's one more that I can think of. I think that, okay, so basically I got my personal training like certificate, but I decided not to work at a gym just because, I don't know, like, I always like wanted to work for myself, because then you can set your own hours, you set your own pricing, which obviously I didn't do a good job of, but it's fine. But like, you're more flexible, right? You're not under someone. You can set your own like hours that you want to work at. But my biggest challenge when I started with that is like finding clients, because you're starting from zero. Whereas if you go work at a gym, like, they find clients for you, and they just say like, okay, you have to train this person on Friday or something like that. So yeah, that was definitely one of my biggest challenges, and the way I went about it was word of mouth and social media. And back in 2017, like, Instagram wasn't like popping the way it is now in terms of like fitness influencers. Like, when I started my Instagram, sorry, I just touched my mic. When I started my Instagram, that's when like Gymshark influencers were just starting to post their workouts on Instagram. Like, before it was all on YouTube. So it was definitely a very like new growing industry. But I would just like, anytime I had like, my parents were my first clients. I love that for me. But whenever I was training someone, whether it be my parents or my friends, I would post about it. And then it would intrigue people. People would reply back to it and be like, oh, like what are your rates? Like, where do you train? So social media was like a blessing for me, and then word of mouth. Like, whoever I would train, thankfully they would go tell other people that they had a good experience, and then that's how I built my client base. And honestly, like, even though it was like a challenge for the first like 3-4 months, I ended up building like a client base that was like a good client base, you know?
Yeah.
It was like committed clients who were like super interested in like their fitness, and they were like committed, and just, yeah, they were like a really good client base. I'm really thankful for that. So social media, power of social media is pretty crazy.
Yeah, no, I remember when I was looking at the Instagram videos too, the Gymshark ones, I feel like they were a little bit too advanced for me. Like, I didn't really know what I was doing. But then your videos were a lot easier to follow. But then I was also so jealous that you went to the Gymshark, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that was happening.
God, yeah.
I was like, man.
I know, that was crazy.
Yeah, that looked really fun though. You met like Whitney, right?
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, she's my favorite.
Yeah, she's my favorite too.
Yeah.
She's so cute. Oh my God. But yeah, that event, I feel like that really kickstarted my Instagram for some reason. It just started like going, I met people there, and then my inspiration like went up there. So it was a good event.
Yeah. Okay, so my next question for you is, what are your favorite courses at Rotman?
Oh, my favorite courses. Definitely, okay, this is biased, but like, I specialize in marketing. So like, all the marketing courses were my favorite, like whether it was just regular marketing, marketing research, branding, stuff like that. But I loved the marketing research class. I don't know if she still teaches it or not, but she would always bring snacks to class. She would always bring chips and just like pass it around. So I loved her for that. But in general, like, the marketing classes, I love that they're like assignment based and like case study based. Like, I just learned so much better that way versus like tests. So I appreciated those. I also took a business design class in my 4th year, which I loved, because it was one of those courses where the whole thing was around a final project. Oh. And this final project was a presentation to Gillette. So we literally went to like the P&G head office at the end of our semester, and we literally like presented to the Gillette team, which was like so cool. Yeah. Like, it wasn't an easy course, but it was like so like you had to be so immersed into it and so involved, otherwise you didn't get a good mark. And one more I can think of is negotiations in 4th year. Very fun class. You just get to fight with people in class. It's so fun, and like every time you get a new case, and like you sometimes you team up with someone else, sometimes it's just you, but it's a really fun class. So.
Yeah. These are good for me to hear too, because I there's so many courses out there that I just don't know about. You know, we just like see the main ones, like finance, this, that, which is, you know, I love that, but then these are interesting too, like negotiations. I didn't even know that was a Rotman course.
Fun. Oh my god, so fun. But for sure I would say like my 4th year was my favorite, because like you get to pick all your courses.
Yeah.
And so like I feel like they were so like things that I actually wanted to do, rather than first, second, kind of 3rd year you are like forced to take courses. So I like electives a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, take negotiations. It's a really fun course.
Definitely. Noted. Okay, and last question. Where do you see Kiki Fitness in the next 5 years?
Oh, that's a big one. Oh, that's so interesting. I feel like my mind like changes all the time about Kiki Fitness, because like my life changes so much. Like I didn't know I was going to start school this year. Like, so things get added to my plate, but like ideally I would love to continue growing like my follower base, and like keep maintaining what I have and hopefully go like more and more with it. Keep working with bigger brands. That'd be great. Nike. It's gonna happen. But yeah, I would love to work with more fashion brands, honestly. I feel like I haven't really immersed myself into that market like that much. I just kind of like do my own thing, and I've worked with a lot of like fitness companies, so hopefully more of that. And just like to keep like inspiring people. Like there's so much times where I'm like, I just want to like delete my Instagram. Like believe it or not, it's just like so much sometimes. Like not anymore, because now I like don't let it get to me, but it would happen to me so much where I'm just like, oh my god, I don't want to do this anymore, it's too much. And then I would get like a paragraph from someone being like, this workout was like amazing, or like I've lost like this much weight because of you. Like those messages like make me so happy. So hopefully I can keep like helping people in the gym with food, and like even fashion, I guess, like inspiring them in fashion. But yeah, more followers, more brands. That's like the goal. And more workout plans, hopefully, if I'm not lazy.
No, you know what? When you post the recipes, I'm like, oh, this looks so good. I want to make it. I'm just so lazy.
I know.
But it looks so good. But honestly, though, the fashion posts, like, they're really great too. Like, they're great posts. And honestly, you're one of those people where I have no doubt in my mind. Like, you will get sponsored by Nike. Like,
Thank you, girl.
I know it. I'm not even like I think it. I know it.
Thank you.
One day.
I'll be back here when I do.
Yeah.
But you guys probably won't be in like undergrad anymore.
Now time for some, fun questions. What are your favorite fashion brands?
Okay, I feel like I'm pretty basic when it comes to like fashion brands, but I try my best to just like piece stuff together that I think looks good. So like most of my closet is from Aritzia. My poor bank account. Fun fact, something I've recently started understanding with Aritzia is that I need to spend more money on investment pieces rather than just walking in there and buying like one shirt that I'm gonna wear one time. So like I'm working on that. Zara, definitely over like the past quarantine have grown a love for because of TikTok, because now I find pieces that I couldn't find before. And like I literally never knew how to like navigate the website, but now I do. So I find some great stuff. There's a few, I don't shop like from online stores a lot just because like the sizing never ends up being right, and they don't look good on me. But I do like Tiger Mist a lot. I think that's great. Where else do I shop from? H&M sometimes has some great pieces that you would never expect. And then a new place I started shopping at for dresses is called the Black Sheep Boutique. I don't know if you've heard of it before.
Yeah, it's at Shops on Yonge.
Right? Yeah, I like recently discovered it. Shout out to them. Like I literally love their stuff so much. It's so like just so trendy, and they like bring pieces in every like 2 weeks. So there's always new stuff, and it's so much nicer to get stuff from there rather than like at Aritzia where everyone has. So that's my new find, Black Sheep Boutique.
No, honestly, Black Sheep Boutique looks really cute. Mm-hmm. I definitely agree with you there. Zara, I find, is the best place for work clothes. Like the pants you're wearing are my absolute favorite work pants.
Love
I live in them. They're so comfortable. But it's okay. I'm like you, all Aritzia. Like
honestly, it's just a habit. It's just the easiest. Like I know they're gonna have what I need.
Yeah.
But Zara recently, like now that I know how to navigate the website, you can find pieces that maybe people haven't even seen before or can't find, but it's like at an affordable price. So love that.
Yeah. No, I get what you mean. Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, that concludes our interview with today. Thank you very much, Kiki Fitness, for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
Yes, I agree. I loved it. It was so much fun. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching.